A good day. Can't walk on in. How's everything? I am late on the Discords, so it's a bit of a mess. How's the cut? Also, why? No, I know why. The fact that I said to myself, no, not no haircut. Like next haircut is, in Japan. That is gonna take a while. Hee Gonna take a while. Uh, I see that happens. That happens. I mean, technically, you did explain that to me, so I am aware. But yeah, not the best. Not the best. Oh goddamn! I forgot to pre-plan the messages, so I need a copy paste spam things. Yes. Um. Eh, maybe you can figure things out and not do that, not just be brown and bobs. I mean bobs all the time, but like you know. Question for you, even though you don't really need that usually, how's the stream overall? I have sent changed things, so I'm guessing you can only have 720p, and you shouldn't have the ear error 1000, so that's a positive. But also, yeah, um, yeah, that's a thing indeed. That is an indeed thing. We have some news though. We have a lot of news, um, because the Apple event happened yesterday, so everyone is talking about it, and it's kind of shit. So yeah, that happens. Yeah, I don't really understand. I'm using the thing that Stony has recommended, and that means that the thing that you're getting on your end is going to be kind of limited to a certain level. Cybersect, hi, what morning? And Cybersect can see things, which was the goal. Um, but 720 is the source, which is not what is supposed to happen because I'm doing the encoding on my end. And then what I've done is that I had split the encoding, so that the YouTube encoding is on its own and the Twitch encoding is on its own. So I'm basically encoding for two platforms and multiple resolution officially on Twitch's side, which is wild because it doesn't give me 1080, which is what I'm asking for. So that's sad. That's where I am. It is sad. It pisses me off, but that's where we are. At least people can see things, which is good. Which is good. Um, I thought you had a thing. I thought you had a thing. Don't you have a thing? Am I dumb? Yes. Did I miss something? Probably. What happened? You posted a TikTok about like getting a job, staying in there, something last month's week thing. What am I missing? Um, you have nothing anymore. You have free time? Uh, all right. Well, that happens. That's kind of sad, but that happens. I get it. It's still broken though. The PC is still broken. That's bad. Um, there hasn't been anything really that I've seen lately that is in the positive realm for job hunting and job hunters. Um, the only thing that we've seen is the regular uh, brain. Right. LinkedIn trick. So yeah, the thing of getting into LinkedIn, looking at, let me show you because I mean you know what I'm talking about before anyone that doesn't know what I'm talking about, and that might help for some reason. If you go on LinkedIn, you're looking for a job and you are in the I am not hiring right now. No, you are into the job section and you want to look for something. Let's say you are looking for designer in Japan and whatever, like the regular thing. There is options where they say date posted and you say past 24 hours thing, so it shows you like one result. And so one of the option or one of the things that you can do from there is instead of having like past 24 hours and limited to past 24 hours, you can change the value of that specific thing at the T mark, which is right about here. So that 86,000 is the number of minutes or seconds or something. I forgot how much it is, but that's the thing. And so if you say that you want to check this in the past uh, less, you will get like more or less of the in the past like 15 minutes, 10 hours things that you have right now because I 10x that is in the past 2 hours. Um, Divided by 10. But in the past 2 hours, there has been like 109 jobs posted for me in that specific search. So that uh, is useful to get into the first applicant first applicant things. Gothic, hi, welcome back. How have you been? You missed something. I'm gonna need to go under the desk. Ah, aha, god dang, that was my ass. Coaster just stuck. Oh, with my teeth. Yeah, yeah. It is I mean, it's been a very, very fluffy hair for the past few weeks. I don't like it. As I said in the beginning of the stream, um, because I'm planning on not getting back to the hairdresser until I'm back in Japan, as in a definitive thing. Like, okay, I'm back now. I can do the thing that I want to do. That's the plan. The issue that I have is that it's pissing me off, and it needs a trim. I need to get rid of everything that is like really bad. It doesn't help. Like the very sad thing, I'm gonna go there. The very sad thing that I have with my hair and finding a job in Japan is that Japanese people, Japanese companies are a lot on the presentation thing. So if you don't look the part that you are trying to get, you have a bit of a hard time with getting the part. So, like an actor, you need to look clean and proper and organized and, all that. So, this, when I'm applying for a job in Japan, is not professional. The beard is not professional, but I'm a foreigner, so that's kind of fine. And it, you know, it needs to be kind of cleaned up, but I don't have the $100, $200 that I need to maintain what I want to have. So yeah, Stony, hi. We are back on 720. I know. Um, so that's the bit of a dilemma that I have where I can either or like spend money and get like tidy up and be good and potentially find something, or remain true to what I said, which is like no haircut until I go back. And I don't know. I don't know. But yeah. Well, basically now Cybersect can see the stream, which means they Hannah can see the stream and Techie can see the stream, which is good. But also, it's like for some reason it's just limited to 720 for me, and that makes no sense. So yeah, it's weird. Um, yeah, I do feel better when I get a haircut when the haircut is good, as always. But yeah, uh, that's uh, that's a thing. Is it? It's not. Yeah, it's not cool. I made a financial decision today, which is a very bad financial decision. Kat, you will probably appreciate that. Wait 1 second. And it's I said something when I opened the box uh, that will please a lot of people. I said it's bigger than I expected, and yeah, yeah, that that is a fucking brick. That's that that is massive for what it is. It's 100 mil, and that's way too much. And I'm sad about it because it's 100 mil, and I don't like the big one because taking this in uh in the plane is limiting the amount of thing that I can take with me, and the fact that it's a fucking square is just so annoying. On top of that, the cap is the least secure thing I have ever seen. And if I, by mistake, put it by the cap, I am almost certain that it will just fall through. So I need to be careful. Um, but yeah, you know, um, it's there now. I have it. I caved. I bought the thing, and because I bought the thing, and they are kind, I got this. I have 9 testers of new things to add to my collection. So that happens. Um, but yeah, Bams, hi, welcome on in. Yes, 100%. No, I mean basically the testers that they have is like officially they are like $5 to $8 per testers. Like one of these is like 5 to 8. And when you buy a perfume or you buy something, the samples are just free. Like 100% free. They are happy with that. So yeah, Lizzie, hi, welcome back. How are you? How's the day going? So with that, like that's the one from last month. So I still haven't gone the entire thing. That's the one from this one. I didn't go through. I mean, I can't have gone through the entire thing because I just got it. Uh, and yeah, that is the situation right now. So that happens, and it's pretty, yeah, um, it's nice. It is nice, but that means that we have news on this thing, obviously, because I did that, and now it works, and it's good. So the app is still working. The still the same, but that it's working. It's nice. I'm wearing this thing today, which is a very, very woody thing. It's extremely um smoky, to be honest. So yeah, it's pretty nice. It's to me, it's pretty nice. But that's the thing. My collection has grown, so I have like these new 10 entries for today. The good thing is these perfumes, like the one that you see here, congrats on landing. Uh, these perfumes are manual entries, and so they are not part of the database, but it's a good thing because that way I can check if they can be added um, into the database automatically by myself because I'm admin level. So anything that I add on my side will be synced through CloudKit for everyone to get. That's an interesting thing that I kind of like, and it kind of works, but not entirely, but kind of. So that's good, you know. It's working. It does the thing that it's supposed to do, and it gives me a very cute presentation. This one has very weird notes, but it works. So we'll see. There has been like a lot of, for example, this one has no notes, two notes, which is like vanilla and musk, and that's it, like nothing else. And so I don't really know uh, how the system pulls out some yellow and reds from there. Musk is supposed to be white, and vanilla is kind of beige, yellowish, depending. So, yeah. Um, so that's the thing. It is, yeah. It's just do you think you would like this one? To be honest, it's a pretty cute one. The fact that it has indent on the side makes absolutely no sense. That's a processing issue that I can't fix. But you know, it's there. It's fine. But you know, today's attempts have been pretty impressive and pretty interesting. I'm really happy with this one because Oddity has you can't see that. The brand Oddity is like period Oddity. So it starts with a period, it starts with a dot, and that sometimes in databases is a breaking element because it's a special character that's not supposed to be at the start. Same thing as what's the fucking thing? Some things in Android, if you start a file name with a number, well, you can't. Like that's not an option. That will crash your app if you have a file number in the code that starts with like one dash. Then not running, not doing anything. It makes no sense. So sometimes this happens. So this one was really good for me to test at as well. You know, and yeah. Yeah, let me just do that instead because you're gonna have a better time. So the one that you want to test out is this one, which is from Indult. Um, and yeah, again, very very big notes. Same thing from the rest of the collection, to be honest. This one is like three options, and I made the decision to place them this way, even though that's not the case. Like if you go into the pages that are like the reference for these, um, you have that's not the right thing. You go into what they have, their notes on this one is a lot more complete on Parfumo, which means that I could potentially extract this. But then if I'm going into um, Fragrantica, which is the initial place that I was on, this one um, is bitch. Can I type? um, it's just giving me this. Like, what do you want me to do with that? Oh, I should have done. I've gone with this though, because that's their new collection. I have three of them. One of them is this one, which is like a leathery. Yeah, it's just leathery, but not a good leather, you know. So I just didn't. I just didn't. Also, they are French, so you know, biased against. Obviously. But yeah, that's the current situation. I just saw this, so I'm gonna update the perfume. As of right this instant, you cannot um, edit perfumes properly. So if I'm here, even though this is a perfume that I added myself to the collection, if I go into edit mode, it's going to tell me that the factual data is protected and cannot be edited, even though I made it. So if I create the thing and I made a mistake, I need to be able to edit that, and it's something that I forgot to do. So that's is necessary to happen. But yeah, the good news though, I'm going to stay on full screen because that makes more sense. The good news that we have is that this thing is now centered. We talked about it on Monday. Yes, the collection view is working. We have all the thing that we want, which is good. I renamed the section instead of calling that testing. I call that today because that's usually what happened. It's the perfume scent of the day, so that's what we have. I think that's a bit better. And then now we have this section that takes a bit of a loader, but it's fine. The explore for layering, we talked about that last time, which is pretty simple and good. But right now I'm doing this one. It's kind of weird, but it makes sense. And since just before the stream, we finally have this in a full screen matter with multiple layers. So your top notes are going to have the blue section, middle note in green, and base note in brown or orange, so that you kind of know your scent profile based on the position of the notes. I feel like this is pretty useful, interesting, potential, whatever. However, as always, this looks like shit. Like there is no denying that this is trash. I don't like it, but it works. So for now, I'm gonna live with it. Um, but it's really bad. It's a start though. That's where we land. Um, but yeah, that's the main news. I made some teeny tiny changes on the profile view to have like the payment, like paid tier at the top rather than having it like somewhere else. And and then kind of played with other placements, making sure that the settings button is at the top like it needs to be. Um, and overall, it's working. It's not the best, but it's working. I had for a split second a toggle to show me the free tier and then the paid tier so that I can just navigate in between the two and see how things looks. But that's for later. Techie, hi, welcome in. Welcome back. How is you? So that's an interesting thing. I feel like there is a ton that needs to happen in order for me to just like reorganize stuff and make sure that the iCloud section and so on, uh, you know, just it is good. But that is for later. I did this thing, which is really bad. um, and the privacy policy and the terms of services are currently in work in progress. I just have a fucking markdown about it, nothing else. Mm. But they are useful and necessary to do. So that's that is the that's the situation. So yeah, I am tired and financially irresponsible. I don't make any money, and I just spent like uh, how can I say that, $200 on perfumes today for no other reason than it's been in my head for a long time. Um, bass, bass. I guess Bastronic with bass as in French bass. Ooh, interesting. Well, come on in. I know you're not the only one that think that liquid glass looks like shit. However, it depends on. I have two questions I would say for you. Did you use it, or did you just make your opinion about how you think of it or what you think of it from Apple's marketing. Because if you think, or if you just think it's shit because of Apple marketing, I absolutely agree with you. Everything that is on the website is absolute trash. Everything that they have presented at the WWDC 25 is absolute trash. And in day-to-day use, it's just good. It's just yeah, it's just good. Like on a regular basis, this is broken because I'm looking through uh, this version. Let me not do that. So it works for everyone, you know. But yeah, no, liquid glass overall is kind of okay. It has this shine thing that I don't like. I feel like this is okay, right? The fact that you have the shiny around the dock and other things, but it's at the limit of annoyance. So I do agree with you that sometimes it just makes no sense. The other thing that I can't really show you that here is most of the thing that people have been complaining about is only when you have like this and that didn't work. If I go through clear and then I'm going into wallpaper, which is what people are doing, which makes absolutely no sense to me, um, that is that is absolutely shit. Uh, so yeah, Krasnov, hi, what on it? Um, yeah, that's also a thing, but like this is shit. Like I don't have to really explain myself. This is absolutely trash. And obviously, again, I'm looking through the lens of mirror, so I have some glitches where sometimes we have the icons that are in color they shouldn't be. But yeah, this is just bad. This is just bad design, and no one should do that. Like if you used your iPhone with a wallpaper, please don't. Just you know, just stick with something good like this. But yeah, other than that, the liquid glass that is inside of the iPhone alone is kind of okay. You end up with some of the things here and there that are like useless. You know what? Not some, most that are useless. I kind of talked about that before, but any of these, you wouldn't be able to see that. Like, like this is the size of my thumb. So when I'm pressing and dragging, I don't see that. My thumb is on top of it. I can't, I don't know. So the only time that I can see is if I start dragging and then I go down to look at it. Other than that, that's that I will never see that interaction in any way. So yeah, I just I don't like that, or I don't see the point. That's the main thing. Other than that, technically speaking, it's okay. It works. It doesn't bother me. It's not in your face all the time, which is really good. And that's eh, I do agree with this to an extent, but not exactly in the sense that you are seeing it. But I get it. I get that. Also, Krasner, hi, welcome. Did I say that already? I think I did. um, the thing that I would say is for that specific point that you're making, which is half true to me. This is what people can understand from the outside. When you are on the inside and you see the progression of the timeline from Apple point of view, you kind of understand why um, that's not a take that you can have. So something that I'll explain many, many times on the stream, but since you're new, you don't know. Some of my dad's friend that used to work at Apple in research and development back in the 80s, 90s ish. So in the beginning of me, used to tell me stories about some of the things that they were working on that at the time was like 20-ish years old, tech that they were working on, as in just working, that I've seen released in a way 3 years ago. Um, like, yeah, the thing that he was working on in the 80s was basically the initiating things for the tech that went into the Apple Vision Pro. So, with that in mind, they have a 30-ish like innovation pipeline, which means that the thing that they're working on today is stuff for like in 5 years. The only thing that they have rushed is the AI stuff because they don't have a choice. I mean, they need to prove that they are still relevant in the AI sphere, but that's not necessarily good yet. But for anything that is like software and hardware, they have like a 20 to 30 years innovation pipeline that is usually taking a lot of time. Going back to your question of you're currently on Samsung phones and you want to move to the 17, I wouldn't. If I was you, if I were you, I don't know how to say that. You know, I wouldn't necessarily move from Android to iOS. Again, I have both. I have Androids. I have two Androids on my desk, one iPhone, uh, that is my main daily driver. But yeah, I don't think there is like a better or worse situation. That's going to be the first thing, and you can have access to all of this in liquid glass and whatever you can think of, right? Or not. You just turn that into um, in the accessibility settings, you change the transparency to less transparency, and you basically don't have liquid glass anymore. You have the bubbly things here and there, but nothing is really transparent. So you get back iOS 18 design without compromising anything. So if you are just not sure about liquid glass, that's the option. Other than that, to be honest, your Samsung is pretty good and will remain pretty good for a long time. Your iPhone is going to be good, but it's going to need to be changed more often than the Galaxies. If you are on Galaxies, if you are like in the A series on Samsung, it's going to be a bit more often. But like an A series, 2.5 years, 3 years worth of data. If you're rocking the S23, I think you're pretty good until the S26 or S27, unless you really need something brand new. But yeah, um, other than that, I don't think, you know, um, yeah, no. To me, I mean, again, this this phone that I'm currently using for chat, this is my chat monitor on the side. This is uh, an Android phone which costed me 600 or 700 bucks, I forgot at the times. It's from 2017. It is still running pretty smoothly. It's just running Android 9. It does everything it's supposed to do. And the only reason I'm not using it on the daily is because since I have it plugged in all day, every day, the battery is dead. If that wasn't the case, that would be my daily driver because it is still my favorite phone. Like that didn't change. And yeah, I just use it as a chat monitor because that battery is dead. And it's also a good thing for me because I can test on Android 9 for the apps that I'm building, and then this one is Android 15, so that I have something to test on the latest-ish version. It will have Android 16 soon, and then the iPhone is just making sure that I have access to iOS for development as well. So that, you know, it's the thing. So if, for me, if you are in the S23, you should be able to retain and use it for the next at least 2 to 3 years to make sure that you have like the best ROI on this thing. The usual thing for me is you take the price, you split it by the amount of days, and that's the amount of cost your phone was. So if you have a $365 phone and you use it for 1 year, it was $1 per year. You use it for 2 years, it was 50 cents per year or per day. $1 per day, yes. And then 50 cents per day. And for you, the S23 was probably 1200, I think. 1299. Brain. I think, yeah. Depending on the data storage that you have, maybe 14. But, nonetheless, doesn't change much. So if you do that and it's like at the end of the day, $2 per day for 4 years, I think that's pretty good. S23 right now is like 2 years old, so depending on when you bought it, obviously, you have different things. But yeah, I wouldn't change. And if you really want to upgrade for some reason, I don't know, I wouldn't go for the latest. Like this one, the Note 13 Pro. God damn, show me in the names. I bought the 13 when the 15 was up, like 2 years past, because it's cheaper. But it still works. It's still good. Do that. Do that often. Just don't buy the latest one. So yeah. Um. But yeah. Also, Techie, I just saw your message. You got the studio display? Hey, I wish I did. I wish I did. I don't. God dang. I'm still very slow at reading. That didn't change during the weekend. During the Apple event, didn't make me read faster. Um, but yeah, I don't think, going back to what you said, I don't think Apple was forced to innovate and then came out with liquid glass. I don't think liquid glass is the innovation. I think they're forced to innovate is true when you're looking at their stock market prices. Eh, like it's, I mean, for the past, this is the past 5 years because it makes sense. Basically, there was everything was fine. We were going up for the past 5 years, and it makes sense. We have the dips and so on. All that is on point, and we like it, and such. And then there was the Trump announcements and things, and it just crashed. And it had like a very, very, very hard time to recover. It went back up, kinda. But if you look back at what happened, I know that Xiaoxue has a very funny thing. I don't know if I will be able to showcase it here. We'll see. In between the titties, as always. So when you look per hours and minutes, basically, of the Apple stock during the event, they announced the AirPods. It just went up straight up, like really start of the event, and then they talked about AirPods. Everything was up, and then they started talking about Apple Watch, and it kind of went down. And then the 17, it just crashed. So that's fun. I think that's funny. Um, it doesn't mean anything, right? It's just like coincidental, but also it's kind of not coincidental. Um, but there is a lot of things in the announcement of the iPhone 17 that makes absolutely no sense. So if I were you right now, and you are thinking about moving from Android to iPhone, I would get myself an iPhone 16 instead of a 17 because a 17 doesn't really give you anything groundbreaking yet, unless you really need like the 120 hertz refresh rate screen. If you're from the S23, potentially, potentially. Um, but yeah, like going for 16 is going to be much better, even if you go for 16 Pro so that you have like refresh rate and so on. You're going to still have to pay a lot, but you're going to be able to pay less because the 17 is up. Other than that, uh, that is that Stony. That's from you. I'm surprised. I was bamboozled for a second. What the fuck is that? Um, I mean, you said what it is, but I just didn't read. Like me, you know. Where's your fucking link? Yes, yes, you did. Yes, you did cook for a ton of people. 100%. I wish I could. I wish I could. But yeah, no, overall, the personally speaking, moving to one side or the other is not making any sense. And there is no real better side. I mean, there is better side based on what you're looking for. If you're looking for stable and safe, the iPhone is pretty good, but it's also constrained. If you're looking for stable and open, you go for Android phone in the higher tier range. And if you just want customization and whatever, you go for uh, regular Xiaomi phone because that makes sense, the cheapest, and it just works. You flash a secondary ROM on that, you don't have the ads, you're good. So yeah, I I don't think there is any need for switching camp. Um, and the only potential camp that I would could recommend you to switch to is the Huawei camp if you have access to them, because Huawei ecosystem is now better than Apple's ecosystem because they had to create their own operating system, their own not chips but like almost. Um, so it's not really a version of Android anymore based on what they have and the lows and the UIs and the things. So what they have created is basically a duplicate of what Apple has done for a fifth of the price. We like it. So Huawei is really good, as always, has been for a long time, and then just the UIs fucked them up. It happens. But yeah, other than that, no change. No change. And Tiki, yes, it is easier to save when you don't have taxes. It's also easier to save when you have an income, you know. So that's the thing. That's the thing. Like even the smallest of income is something that like I've been saying that I have not been employed, so I haven't been receiving a paycheck monthly for the past 2.5 years now, kind of 2023, mid 2023 to now. Um, so let's say 2 years. That means that even though I'm not getting any money in, my saving habits of putting up $650 on the side per month has still been there. Like I haven't stopped just because I'm used to it and it makes no sense to stop. So I'm doing my best to put that to the side every time I can. I am officially from the government and so on getting like $500 per month. So I'm on a deficit of like 150 by default. Um, that's not good. It would be better if I had a job or an income or something. So that's why I'm building the apps, because the apps helps, which I don't think that's gonna work. But yeah, that doesn't work. God damn it. I can't trust it. I cannot trust it. The button on the Stream Deck don't work, and if I kill the Stream Deck, it's just not gonna work anymore. So that's no good. No good. I'm gonna have to restart the stream. Anyways, so yeah, saving is a force of habit type of things rather than uh, a possibility, right? You start saving with like $20 a month, maybe, and then you do 50, and then you do 100, and then you go up and go up and go up until it speaks to you. So yeah, um, yeah, that's a very low salary. I get that. I get that. Also, we have the TSA for a split second, which I think is going to disappear when I'm saying that, as always. But yeah, uh, that's fun. The, the thing that I said last time as well is that my current last salary in France, which is where I live, sadly, if I were to take the exact same job with the exact same job title in Japan, I'm getting a 45 to 50% cut on that amount just because of how salary ranges on both sides. And then if you look at US based salary for my level of expertise and my level of like experience, um, already coming from something that would be like a 200K a year salary in the US, in France is like 80K, and in Japan it ends up at like 60K roughly. So that's yeah, it's a big ass drop. But I like the country, so I might do that. I might do that. Yeah, the thing is, the remote job in the US are usually remote US from what I've seen. I have rarely seen a company that is based in the US that is willing to pay US wages for remote employees outside of the US. That's the thing that is kind of sad. And then it's the French have figured out how to do it. It's based on the location. So if you have a remote job in France, the probability of them saying, "Oh, you are currently living in I don't know, in Taiwan, or in Thailand, Thailand right now. So the salary for a designer in Thailand is roughly this. So we're gonna pay you this because you're like that's your residence right now. That's your salary for this month." And that's how the French do it. So that therefore the employees are kind of remote French, sadly. So yeah, I wish I could have like a remote US or remote Canada. Uh, yeah, type of situation. The good thing that I've talked to recruiters and hiring people as well about this, where I'm like, the salary that you have listed is way higher than what I want. I don't need that much. Like you have a salary that is linked at the entry level of the bracket you have is 100K in the UK, for example. £100,000 is the beginning of their bracket for my job position. And I send them a message and I said, 100K is way too much. I need in pounds, maximum 80. Like maximum 80. Over that, I don't know what to do with it, and I don't feel comfortable getting that. And they were like, that feels weird because no one uh, doesn't want to get paid. I'm like, yeah, but it makes no sense. Like, what do you want me to do with that? I can't do shit. Like, 80,000 pounds is roughly 100K in euro, which is really high for France already. And I'm like, hey, I'm fine with that. Like, I don't need more than that. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Otherwise, if you give me like the 150K equivalent, um, I'm gonna be on vacation. Offered. That's it. What's gonna happen? So yeah, I just don't. I don't care about money, and that's a thing that is a theme with me. I just like I don't need it. I mean, I do, but I don't. And I just eh, that's what I need. Like I need at a minimum 60K roughly. I mean, at the minimum I need like 20K, so that's fine. But like at a minimum for being like fine, I need like 50 to 60K, and I'm fine with that. If I can get 80 to 100 in euros, that's really good. That's it. Anything above that, I'm gonna eat more and get fatter. I don't want that. Yeah, I more gym, nah, not happening. So yeah, I have said that many times to hiring people, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not. Salary is not the most important thing, and a lot of candidates are like, salary is the most important thing, and I'm like, I'm not money driven. It doesn't like you give me 120K, you give me 200K a month. It's not gonna make me work harder because I'm paid more. It's gonna make me work less because I'm paid more. So yeah, like just give me my range that is fine with me, and then we'll see. That's the situation. But yeah, I wish I had like still an income that is more stable than what I have now, because right now I'm receiving $50 a month from Twitch. Appreciate it, thank you. And sometimes 16 to $20 a month from the app. And that's about it. So I'm rich. I'm sure that like if I changed country with a country where 15 to $100 a month is in euros is like way more than what most people are making, that would be good. But yeah, um, yeah, yeah. The yeah, I think, I mean, I understand your point of digital products should be, or digital services should be kind of the same rate everywhere. The thing is, I even don't trust that. Like, I I didn't really show you this in the past, I don't think, because it's been a while since I edited it. But like the Can app, the prices in there are based on your location. So uh, a French person is gonna pay $7 a month, seven like six, technically 69, $6.9 a month. That's the subscription price. A Chinese person is gonna pay 250 a month. And I think someone in Peru is paying like 130 a month. And that's parity pricing based on the money, um, like buying power of that currency, to ensure that everyone is roughly at the same rate, that it makes sense for that location. Because if I have an app that is sold at like $50 in France, $50 in China might be like a lot and give you a month of grocery, whereas $50 in France is like two cakes for me. So there is parity pricing in most of the apps that I'm making because of that. So the digital services need to be bound to the currency for the buyers that are living there. Um, but That's kind of bad, but I get it. But yeah, so yeah, I do think that as an agency service would be kind of the same situation with parity pricing, meaning that my prices in Japan for Japanese people would be at a Japanese prices, right? I'm not going to price myself as a US price in a Japanese market. That makes no sense. So my design agency in France is priced for French people. And then if you go into my design agency in Japan, I'm going to be priced for Japanese people. It's equivalent. It's less money for me when I'm doing the job, but I'm still like priced in the same way. So we are based in France, therefore prices are euro based, and it can be used in any countries. And so if it goes into the US, it's US priced, which might be way higher. So maybe like a the subscription that is currently at 3K a month might be 5K a month in the US because that's what they are used to. It's still cheaper than what the other options are. Like they are like at 7K ish. So that's a bargain for them, but it's also way more for me because it's US priced. They, yeah, but I'm doing the opposite of what you're saying. Like I think your example is taking the example of very common um, prices are cheaper or you'll get paid less because you are in a country that doesn't have a very high currency. And I'm doing the opposite. I'm making you pay less for the same service. So parity pricing is more interesting than parity pay, I guess, which is what the French are doing. The fucking French, always the weird ass things. I need a pee before we go through the today's discovery, and yeah, 1 second. There's been new things, which is good, in the yesterday's event from Apple, which was pretty interesting. My feed on Twitter is mostly Apple related stuff. Obviously, that makes sense, but I wanted to showcase something. I don't think I have it here. I think I have it on YouTube directly, specifically on their latest video like this one. They have been talking about or showcasing a new feature that gives you this section. 1 second. Here. So they haven't like added dual captures, right? Um this is coming in 2025. September 10th, 2025 is the year and the date that they are announcing and showcasing the you know the feature of capture both the front camera and the back camera. This is something that has been on the Samsung phone for, I would say, 8 years, probably. However, it's also something that has been on this guy's profile on Behance since 2010. So in 2010, in one of my classes, I was starting to be interested in smartphones, or what was about to become smartphones. And I had the idea of what if we could combine the front camera and the back camera. And and that's a 2010 idea that, like, I made a whole wireframe things because I was starting to get interested in what it could be and so on. And it's really bad, and I would change most of it. But I had the concept of getting pre-made templates for how things would look, defining like front camera and back camera here and so on. And that's like 2010. Um, Be Real is a bit of a similar thing. Be Real is a front and back, back to back. So you take a small video of the front camera, and then it takes a video of the back camera as well, so that a lot of people have been playing with getting both at the same time. But I haven't tried it, so I don't know exactly, but I feel like, yes, you're right. It is kind of the same thing. So, nonetheless, that's the important thing. Um, that specific ID was just making sure, you have your front camera, you have your back camera. Why not just combine them? It makes sense. And yeah, so again, credibility for me, street cred, and so on. And so yesterday we got that announced as the ability to get front and back camera at the same time on the iPhone, which we had on Samsung phone for the past 8 years. And I had in my sketchbook for the past 15 years. Cool. Trick trick. Anyway, other than that, not a lot much more. They have been adding things for the Apple Watch with um, heart rate monitoring and mostly things that are related to the hypertension, which is what I have, which is good. But I don't have an Apple Watch, so I don't really care. But also, what they have presented for the hypertension and heart rate monitoring and so on is a thing, an algorithm that would give you a notification if there is a sign that you may have um, hypertension. I have. I'm taking the medicine for it. So there is no need for me to get a watch to tell me there might be a sign after 30 days that you still have hypertension. I do. I know. No need to tell me. So that's one of the news. That is one of the news. Um, and then we're gonna go through most of these things. They have been like pretty good. Most of the things in the Apple website are still really good in terms of presentation, as always. And we do like you know the explore page and the rotation, um, and so on. So that's neat. That is neat. There has been this popping in, and I think it's really accurate. I Yeah, I didn't see that during the event, but I feel like this is pretty true. I still don't like the fucking orange, but I like that green. So I get it. I get it. Um, And yeah, the AirPods are to me the best features, the best thing that they have announced. For the people that are designers and complaining about radius concentricity, which is what Apple has been complaining about for the past, I don't know, WWDC 25, they talked about it a lot, and now it's not concentric, so that's pissing us off. It makes a lot of sense. James has been doing some weird things, and Techie, that's mostly for you. It's kind of similar to the thing that we talked about last time with that kind of transparency, glassy, not glassy, with a bit of gradient, but not too much, and so on in the output design. I feel like this is something that would be interesting for you in terms of getting in the design of Kyoto, but I don't. It depends. Like that's a debatable thing. It's interesting. I don't know exactly what I if I like the rest of the thing. I do like this. This is good. But like this is debatable, not so good. So you know, it's interesting. It's interesting to just follow through. To just follow through. Um, Going back to Bass, what you said earlier, the liquid glass that they are presenting right about. Let me just pose where it needs to be posed. Right about here doesn't really exist. That liquid glass that they have is not a thing. We don't have this on our phones. We have the kind of flexible things right here, but that's just for the marketing. We don't see that, and that clock doesn't exist. So, I mean, it does, but not the same. So, yeah, don't worry about it. And yeah, the good thing is, I really, 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 really appreciate the fact that Flighty has been pushed by Apple so much because it is so good. But, you know, why not me? Um, so yeah, that's the thing to keep in mind. This one was fun because it makes sense. It's probably true. Um, I don't know where that picture is coming from, but yeah, that's probably what's happening. Um, I do love this, even though this is a joke. But like all joke aside, the air looks amazing, and I agree. I don't know yet. Um, I don't I don't know if you've seen the jerry rig everything, uh, like the one from the fold, like the latest one from the fold, is pretty incredible when it comes to what they have done. Because this one, right about the bend test, is what blew me away. Um, that is the screen protector, which makes sense, and so on. I'm guessing it's the spike right about here. Yeah. So he does the regular bend with the two things, like folded. It it flexes, but that's it. No, like it goes back to its position, and it's fine. And uh, he's pretty strong. But then he does this, and I am blown away by what Samsung has done right here. He's putting the same amount of pressure. Nothing breaks. And that is wild. That is wild. So, based on that, based on this simple video of generating everything that just shows you how it still remains in one piece. Like him, hi, welcome on in. Um, it it give me hope. hope for the iPhone 15, 17 Air that maybe they have something, uh, yes, something that is similar in terms of the build construction. I doubt it, but we never know. And we'll see. Like maybe it's really impressive and they've done something really good. Maybe that's not the case, and I don't know. But I we'll see in about a week, right? We don't have a One Piece command, no. Also, Lark and Pine, welcome in. How are you? Nothing visible broken. Yeah, no, nothing broken at all. There is just the back panel that lift at the end, and that's it. So it's in working condition right after. So that was the thing. So I'm expecting this to happen based on the iPad, but I'm also we'll see. We will see. Um, yeah, I think that's also something that might happen. Um, I saved this one because this one is also existing in light mode earlier, and the cards themselves are pretty cute, very simple for a player. It makes sense. So on. That's it. This one was made in Rive, so there is like particle simulation in Rive now. Didn't know that. Impressive. Um, we've had animation. This is mostly for Khalil, but that's like something that makes sense. And then this is pretty cute. Uh, that's the thing of the live sensation, and I'm like, I don't get it. It makes no sense to me. Um, and the way that they have presented it with you can speak in your native language, and your phone is going to display what you're saying. It feels so wrong to hold your phone while you're speaking and then let the person read and then hope that they understood. And then they will speak back to you in their language, and you can, you know, it's weird. It feels weird. The live translation thing, I'm not a huge fan. Have never been a huge fan of it, but it happens. This one was just interesting. It is very soft, smooth, faded appear instead of something else. I felt like it was pretty nice. I kind of kept it. Um, yeah, I mean the the good thing that they used to have is I have one of the earbuds. I'm giving you the other one, and when I'm speaking, you hear my voice from me, but you also hear the translation automation on the earbuds that I gave you. So that's what they have done with if you have like two pairs of earbuds and two different things. But it's just exactly that. Yes. It's just, are you sure you want to? Have you seen the colors of these things? Like there is a reason why I buy these packs uh often. I'm replenishing my ear stuff with some stuff that are like clean and kind of clear. And yeah, it happens often. It happens often. So that's the thing. Um, I'm not gonna say that it's a bad tech, but I feel like it's a step in the right direction, but it's still too late in terms of I'm speaking and then a second and a half, 2 seconds later, even 4 to 5 seconds later, you hear the translation. So that means that I'm supposed to listen to you speak and then to you speak at the same time as the translation, which is annoying as fuck. And then wait for the translation to finish to reply, which means that oh yeah, that's the thing that will happen, right? You will have the delay from a user point of view, which is kind of bad. But there, eh, eh. It could just use your speaker on your phone, yes. The version that I'm talking about is that if two people have the AirPods Pro 3, they can do that by having like two pairs. But yeah, no. So yeah, I don't know how I like it. Anyways, this one was really cute. Like it's a very nice presentation. It's not how it works, but okay. Um, but that's the only thing. Like the reason why the Apple logo was that color, that gradient of blue, um, orange thing, was because of this. That took a second in the entirety of the presentation. So I'm kind of sad about it. Um, Other than that, Nutty did a very, very good um, analysis of the entire thing. iPhone more faster, also thinner battery, more big, and now camera also better. See you next year, which I think is really true and really good. So as always, we like it. We like it. That's the white version that I talked about earlier, and then this one was funny. That's it. You know me and cats. That's just it happens. It just happens. Um, so yeah, this one is a debatable point. I kept this because this effect is it's past the pattern stage. Going back to my regular thing because we've been talking about Apple for the whole feed, but no, it's a design related stream. Um, the other effect has been something that designers have been using and overusing for the past year, and it's good. We like it, but it's overused right now. So it's past the pattern stage, and I'm guessing that most companies coming up with a website in 2025, 2026 will have the ring effect in some elements. Um, yeah, I used ASCII dithering in a long, long time ago in school. So yeah, I mean, it's still good. Not, not gonna lie. It is looking good. It's really cool. It gives you something that looks interesting. I have an effect on this stream that does exactly that. So obviously, but it is like, it's past the point where everyone is going to have some dithering at some point. So yeah. Um, eh, yeah, Taki, that is a bad move. That is a bad move. Um, Apparently the new Xcode app icon is looking like this, and I'm sad about it. This one is not great, but yeah, if you look at the previous version and the new version, the previous version was so much better because of how they had things fly outside of you know, the container. And now that's not the case anymore. Everything needs to be contained, and you can't have different shapes of icons, which is kind of sad. But yeah. Anyways, I kept this one for pastels because pastels is still the things, and we like pastels. So it's a nice presentation. They have a bit of a glow around the pastel in some situations, not in most, which is kind of sad. But on the charts, they have that. So, it is coming back. It is coming back, and I do like pastels in general. So that's a good thing. Going back to what I was saying about dithering, that is the thing that will probably happen often again. God damn. More cats. That's it. That's it. um, that was funny. So YouTube said your hard work doesn't go unnoticed, and then the community note said your hard work is in fact going unnoticed because YouTube just added the restricted mode, which is basically silently hiding content that is not age restricted in the first place. Um, so a lot of people have been losing on views because they have been in restricted mode by default. That was kind of funny. And then the answers, this one was really, really good. So I like that. I like that a lot. This one was funny to me as well, as in you are filling system is an interesting phrasing. If I was starting at you are filling system, yes, but your filling system makes, I mean, filing technically, not filling, filing makes a lot more sense. So uh, I can't read, and then that is the funniest thing I've seen because well, it's not thinner, and I've been saying that for the past few years now. To me, the thickness of the phone is from the highest point to the lowest point, not from the majority of the body. It's like from here to here. That's the size. And the 6S is the same thickness as the body of the old one. So I I don't see the benefits. Also, like 6.9 on this one, I doubt it. I doubt it. Anyways, design stream, remember? So I've seen this. I don't know if it's true. I don't know if it's a realist thing or if it's the same thing as last time, where it's like some sort of a mock-up post creation. Nonetheless, if you are sharing your progress and your project to someone who's looking for a specific type of designer, having pages and pictures like this, which shows your process and thinking process on paper, it's going to be something that people appreciate. As always, and I just said that a second ago, but it's the same. You can do these things post creation. You can create something, and in Figma, for example, and say, this is pretty good. Let me just fake it, create like a fake wireframe thing, and then be good. Um, this is not a, a counter argument. Nothing. It's it's a perception check. So it depends on you. That's the first thing. But also, as someone that went into mechanical engineering, the size of something is the max size of the element. It's not the smallest point of the element. It's the biggest point because it needs to go through something. So from the top of the camera to the bottom of the screen, that's the thickness of the phone. It's as if I was using this right here, which I don't know if you can see that, and I don't know if you can see the split right there. And I was saying that it was extremely thin because it has like one part of it is one slice. You know, no, that's not the case. So that happens. But yeah, um, The fact that you have never used pen and paper for design is debatable. I wouldn't say it's a bad thing or a good thing. Um, yeah, they should say perceived thickness. Yes, 100%. Um, and like if you're hmm, rephrase, if you are comfortable with one tool and that's the tool that you use, then that works. Like there is nothing wrong about it. If your tool of choice is pen and paper for some things, then having that done on pen and paper makes sense. If your tool of choice for illustration is Illustrator, for example, then having done that directly in Illustrator makes sense. As I said many times, I have stopped doing wireframes in Figma and I'm doing them on paper because it's faster, because it's the tool of choice. And therefore, my creations go faster because I'm just doing them directly in the tool that is going to be the end tool. So that's the idea. The compact is not that compact as far as I remember. Um, like that thing is thick, thick as boy. They had a very good. Um, I'm kind of sad about them, to be honest. And they had like a very good proposition for what they are building, what they are trying to build, and it it made sense in the beginning. Their first phones for uh, older people was really nice, and it's just yeah, I don't. This one is a bit more, yeah, the same concept basically. Um, but yeah, I don't like these things. Eh, also, the fact that this is a fucking render, uh, it's just uh, like if you can't have a better rendered version of the thing, that tells me that this doesn't exist. This is just a fake phone, and you just want me to give you some money, and you will never send me anything because it doesn't exist. So, anyways, if you are not doing the thing on paper, you can do that in the tools, and that's also something that people will appreciate seeing. Techie. So that's the that's the thing, at least for me. It would be easier and better for you to have something to showcase, as here is all of the exploration that we've made to achieve the end result that, you know, uh, gave us this, for example. Like that's the idea. Just making sure that the people that are potentially hiring you see the process is for some people comforting, and therefore having some sort of these things helps a lot. And yeah, I just did not then. I didn't need it. I still bought the thing. Um, I You mean that? I shared that this morning on Discord. They have like a full video presentation of how the penguin can work, and their whole like creation, which I like a lot. Um, and it's really nice. They have like a nice cube. I know, like that cube is really cute. The fact that there is these curves, it's interesting. It brings character, and it makes things more interesting when you're looking at them for reading purposes. Some of these may have been better to get like a sub treatment because some of the letters are really, really cheap in terms of they haven't done anything. It's just like one of the base fonts. But I do like what they have done with uh, the arrows. I feel like the arrows are really, really good, and they make that specific thing, which I think is at the end, like this thing right here, but also it's about. Wait. There, that thing is really cute. Of walking through the page, I feel like this is really neat detail. So I can't select one font type. Um, I would only be able to select one font type per use case. So if I needed to find something for print or for reading purposes, it would be a serif font. If I needed to find something for displays and screens, it would be a sans serif font. If I had to find something or font specific for weddings, it would be a serif or a script font. Um, but yeah, I wouldn't have like a very specific name. The the font that I like Penguin is pretty cute. Um, Inter is pretty cute. Obviously, Geist is good. San Francisco is really good as well. It works with everything. So, you know, yeah, I don't think I know that. I mean, I might know it, but without knowing it much. So, that's a thing. Um, the This one was cute as well for illustration. I don't think this is true. Like it feels too clean, but some people are that clean, so why not? But it feels kind of too clean for the output. They have done like a good job at reshaping things, making sure that there is enough space, similar amount of space in between like the edge of the elbow and the edge of the arm. That's a nice touch addition to make the entire thing flow better. Eh, you know, it works. Um, yeah, no, other than the regular ones, Inter is really good. Um, Geist is really good. The thing that I would be able to show you are stuff that I like, but they are liked for specific use cases. That's the situation. So fonts like this, for example, would be really, really, really good for extremely specific use case, where you need like a signature, for example. You would use something like this to mimic someone's signature, so that when you want to have like a blog and you want the blog to feel like a letter to the user that is currently reading, you have the name of the user that has written the blog with a font like this, because that makes sense. If you're looking for something that is more friendly, maybe Goldplay is a very good one as well. It works for specific use cases. Again, it's really good for titles. It's not necessarily good for readings and fonts, like overall articles. But yeah, like I do have a ton of fonts saved for a lot of use cases. Most of them are going to be for explicit use case and usually titles, not necessarily font for text, because font for text is just you shouldn't bring or break the user habits. So if they are used to see, like again, let's say you are doing a blog and you want the user to feel at home, you would use the other blogs for the target audience, or the other blog that the target audience is susceptible to read, and then use fonts that are very, very similar. Most of them are going to use some sort of a slab slash serif font for the text, and some of them are going to be sans serif, but most of the time it's going to be some sort of a slab serif font. So using that makes sense. Anything else, kind of weird. But yeah, no, I have like a ton of fonts in there that are just really good for understanding. The flexible font is a very interesting one. It pisses me off 99% of the time because of how it's working slash not working. So if I was to show you, dang, this is flexible. And so flexible is giving me that massive container. This is a 15 by 15 block for 12 font or 12 point font. And this is giving me the 200 by 200. If I go with the 1000 by 1000, I have this. So everything is all over the place. It's never organized properly, which pisses me off. That's the first thing. But it's just, it's a very interesting concept. It's potentially useful, but it also breaks everything, and you end up with some of the most 200 by 600 regular type fonts for most of your titles, and you have that massive overhead that just doesn't help in the slightest. And yeah, it's I don't like it. I don't like it. Anyway, still got it. I thought it would be useful for one of my projects, so I got it, and then I was not that happy with it. So yeah, for fonts, and again, going back to some of the things that I've said for years now, fonts are one of the hardest thing to master and get right in your project. You will have the hardest of time until you understand the psychology behind the font itself. So, got it. For example, this one is pretty good looking. It has a lot of character in terms of the ligatures are really good. Some of the letters on their own have really cool alternates that looks interesting. The T and the F are really much the same thing, but like upside down. And all of that is something that will give you and the viewers and the readers a bit of an understanding that, oh yeah, there is like some character behind this font. There is something really cool. Same thing as Goldplay earlier. Most of the current fonts are doing this with ink traps that are overgrown for no fucking reason because they don't understand what an ink trap is most of the time. And we've seen that way too often, but it is something that is bringing character as well. So, you know, that's a thing. That is a thing. Other than that, yeah, when they are done well, I would agree with you. The thing is, like, this is TBD. Hi, welcome back. How are you? How's the day going? Have you been? It's been like 3 weeks. So that is too much of an ink trap for the amount of ink that is supposed to be trapped right there. And yeah, it just feels wrong. Specifically when you look at it at a small size, it looks like there is a mistake in the font itself. And if I look at the A, or if I look at the A specifically this one, the ink is going to get trapped here based on the distance, and therefore this entire white space is going to get filled. Like this whole thing is becoming an ink trap because Again, this is not practical, right? This is not a font that is practically done for print. But if it was printed, the reality and the reason why we have ink traps is because ink is more liquid than like we thought, and therefore we needed to create elements that would fill out to then like render with the proper form. So that F, let me just do that. That F in not that big, in reality, when you want it, and the reason why we have the ink trap is because we want to have something that basically looks like this in the end. Like that's basically the goal, right? The ink is going to get trapped right here, and therefore in the print, in the output, we're going to have something that looks roughly like this. And this is based on the fact that the ink is too liquid, and therefore for the A that I just showcased, the ink is too liquid. So when we end up with these two lines being that close together, surface tension is going to take over, and that whole thing is going to disappear. So it people don't understand them. That's a rent. And Misi, yes, um, share the link, share your color combination things. This is not coding. Ah, yeah. You can share a link right here on in the chat. So uh, I don't think we have that here. Coding is the space between the letters, and the space between the lines in the letters is different names, and I forgot the name as always because I'm a dumbass. Oh, DeviantArt, that is not really good. Um, I think it's the counter, but like the counter is kind of not really the thing that we are talking about right here. It's mostly gonna be the the aperture, I would say, but it depends. Um, but yeah, the distance in between characters is the coding officially, or at least when I learned that was the case. Uh, so yeah, yeah, I click on that so that we have it. So yeah, other than that, uh, not a lot more font. Like you can go with this if you want to be weird, which is appreciated. Uh, but yeah. Like shit like this is so good and I love it, but I never have a project. I had one, but I usually don't have projects that tend to go with this. Um, because the clients that I have are usually going to be like kind of corporate and startup-y and wanting to fit in, match, and so on. The thing that I had to do for uh, Dress for Space was really nice, but then the font choice needed to be readable anyways. So yeah, annoyance, annoyance. Anyways, this is true, and I agree that there is like a lot of really cool things with the effects and the ASCII dithering thing. This one was really nice. I just wish it had a fucking dark mode. You know, their fire though is just. I love these things though. I love these. These are really cute. Like these make sense. They are fun. They they take you out of the regular layout. You have things here and there that make sense, and so on. And we do like the design here, but yeah, it's neat. That's it. Yes. Anyway, uh, the stars in the dark light mode in the library icon. Huh. Give me some more information. Uh, Advice on the color combination. I'm guessing you're talking about that in both, in the fact that this is yellow. Sorry for the flashbang, and in here that it's yellow ish. I can't really see the yellow. So in um, going back here because that makes sense. If we have, um, I'm gonna do something really bad. If we have a star right here and it's yellow, right? That's not your yellow, but let's use that yellow. It's not really readable and accessible when it comes to yellow on white. So we tend to go for something that we call amber, which is like a tad bit orangey, which is kind of what you have done, but I feel like yours it's a smidge still too yellowy. It's still more orange than yellow for sure, but it could benefit from being a bit darker, maybe not that saturated. You might go something like here or there if you wanted, but like it depends on you. I feel like you are roughly here, and it to me it needs to be like a bit more orange-y to make it make sense. That's the first thing. When you are going to be in dark mode, we're going to use pure black. What you have done right now is basically using and yeah, I mean the HSB HSL thing, where you have done a low O kind of um, vibrancy and a least or less bright yellow, which is fine, but I would rather you get something that is either more saturated and a bit darker or just the same than like the yellow that you have. So I understand that your goal here is to have something that is kind of subtle, and in that subtlety, you end up with something that is less understandable. You could get something like this, with your inactive dark to be a smidge darker, like 444, could help to just bring that in the same level of like not luminance but like visibility. The importance here is the yellow ones, and the importance here is the yellow one as well. So I would change that for the combination. Um, but yeah, if I highlight the color too much in dark mode, the view goes there. Yes. If I don't highlight, it is horrible. I see. So I would do that, what I just did, obviously biased. But yeah, that works for me. Rather than this. The separation of color in between what you currently have is not enough for a, a quick view and be like, oh yeah, I see the number of stars. Whereas here, because there is a very much different color, I kind of understand that. So yeah, let me see though. Let me see that again. So if we go here, and if I go into I'd go with a more goldy version. This is really just eyeballing it. I would mathematically choose something, to be honest, but you know, that's how it goes. So, um, that could be better. It's still not noticeable. It is, but it's, a bit more noticeable than what you had earlier, and it is a bit more yellow, so you understand the difference in between the two. And if I go back to what we were doing here, going back to the star inactive, I think I would go for 4, which is what I had. That gives you the separation way more. So, yeah. The left line emulating quote needs to be darker, yes. Same thing. Quote is here. Quote is like 20 to 40% opacity situation. Same thing. So here you would have yeah, 20, 30. 30 is fine, but like 0.3 on both. I'm using opacity and not anything else. That would make more sense. This is good. That's like that's good. Ish. Let me get that star active thing to get a smidge, not too much, a smidge more orange. So it just, you know, it still attracts the eyes. And I do agree with you that um, your eyes are going to go there because it is colored and colorful compared to the rest of the website. But once you understand what they are, which you should really quickly, you should be fine. One of the thing that I'm seeing here, and that might be just a you thing on that library right there. You have 4 stars, 4 stars, 4 stars, 4 stars, 4 stars, 4 stars, 5 stars. So that the fact that they are all the same means that I will not pay attention. My eyes are going to be attracted to this, see everything is the same, not really notice that the last one is 5 stars, and then just say, okay, cool. There is stars on the side. I don't know why, but there is stars on the side. So debatable. I'm guessing this is because you are currently working on it, and these ratings might not be exactly what you're looking for. But if that's the case, try to add more stuff in there that makes more sense. Or maybe stars is not exactly the output that you want to have. Some of the things that are weirdly interesting to have and potentially cool to change is if I'm getting, so your start, I'm going to use a very bad star. Your star is currently a 4-point star, kind of, with a radius in the center and not a radius on the edge. But, basically that. I don't know if I can do that. Yeah, I can do that. Anyways, so right now you're using your very regular 5-star rating. You could have fun with it to get something that is a bit more interesting. Maybe you go through a rotation pattern at the edge of the at the end, right? So you get something at 2, and it's just rotation. Um, that could be interesting. You could get uh, a stack, maybe, where you have um, the main being like much bigger, and then some of these on the edge, like 5 star is gonna shine bright, and you see that it's like 5 star. Like a 3 star is gonna be somewhere around here, so it looks different. So you can play with it to get something a bit more interesting. Is debatable, but like yeah, something interesting. Uh, I don't know if I can do radial. Yeah, I can't do angular gradient on this because that's never gonna work. Interesting. That looks cool though. That looks cool as fuck. Uh, so you can have fun with the star rating and the way that you're presenting them in order to make it less boring is a strong word, but like less classical, right? Um, like shit like this, for example, could be interesting potentially. Or the opposite. You just want to make that the ha, bitch. Thing like this could work as well. Yeah, it's all the time. Things are potential, optional, and so on. You can have fun with it. What? Right now, I think what you have is working. It might attract the eyes a bit more, and I don't really mind it. Light mode is pretty good as long as you get your edge to be less strong. That would be much better. And then here, if you get your, as I just did, if you get your stars to be a bit more yellow, yeah, smidge yellow orangey, and your gray stars to be a bit less visible, uh, that would be much better, at least for me. And right now, as always, I'm currently in zoomed in, so I zoom back out. What do you mean? Um, you could just have uh, this is a 3 star rating. That's an option. The thing that I would do in that like department potential is taking a look at how the Michelin star are showcased, for example, right? Their system of 1, 2, and 3. In some situation, they have done a pyramid based on the things, and also if you look at the logo itself, if we can, I don't think we can. God damn it, bitch, get the fuck out. Uh, I mean, we do have it right here, but that's not necessarily the easiest things to see. But the way that they have played with the Michelin star and the heart itself as an additional element to bring you something that is unique is interesting. Um, but yeah, it would break your alignment for sure. But then you have like a better, I mean, better, no. Um, a potentially better way of knowing, oh yeah, that thing is actually 3 stars. Like, let's say you don't have this one. Let's say you don't have this one either. This one is 3 stars. Let's go back to here. I should know. I should know.
Take over fucking souls.
It doesn't bother me much, to be honest. But it does break the flow of what you already had. So I could see that much better. Being a bit more interesting to just have that with the changes I made earlier. I think what would make the most impact is going to be the lines on the side and the yellows. Kind of. This is interesting, but it's just like, yeah, it's fine. It's okay. That needs. Bitch, get out. Thank you. God dang. I guess. I mean, at least for me, I would get something similar to this. That you have like your kind of layering of the stars based on a circle type of situation. That could be interesting, rather than having them like at all times like this. But yeah, this is a very cute render, to be honest, for 5-star rendering, 5-star rating system. Eh, nah. And Mizzy, this is not bothering. This is exactly why the stream exists. So you're not bothering at all. I'm here to help you with any design question you may have. See, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's could play with that. I could see this as a very interesting output. But same thing with that, for example, you can play with positioning of a very simple one of these. And just get that centered, make sure that this is dashed, and then you make your dash plotted with 0, 1, no, 1, and your space at like, I don't know, 20, maybe. 20 might be a bit strong. That's not centered. That's interesting. Oh, that's one. It's one. Ah, I see. The repeat is just wrong. But yeah, you could play with like other things, and then you end up with weird ass thing, weird creation and placements, alignments. You know, just having fun. But yeah, no, that's not a it's not a thing. Again, I've been playing with this for the past few days. So obviously I'm in that rotational things right now. I'm thinking about it. But yeah, like you can have fun with your creations of the rating system that you have rather than having the regular stars, which is a good thing, but it's also like kind of annoying at times because it doesn't really match what you have in your head. One of the things that I have is way too many videos. That's the reality. But in the favorites, I forgot exactly in which collection I put it. I put that on product. I might have put that on product. I forgot. Someone has made a video that is pretty good. Obviously, I'm not going to find it because I'm looking for it. But uh, it might be this one. Or it might be this one. I feel like, yeah. So this person is talking about streaks and how a streak is something that is or has become, became, is now the golden standards for most of the things. So what they have done for like the explanation here is that sometimes when you are tracking progress, it is better to have different types of things and not necessarily like a streak of exactly uh, day after day after day after day. It's better to have like rewards for like the goal is 30 or the goal is a certain amount of minutes per day or per month or something. That is kind of similar. It's a similar way of thinking when it comes to um, your rating for a book, for an article, for something. You may have the ability to just use that system in a way that makes more sense to you and not necessarily use stars. That's that is just the point that I'm trying to make. Potentially get not the stars, potentially get like a thing a bit better or a bit different. Um, I would say, however, and it needs to be said, the overall thing and the overall fact is that in terms of what users are known or are aware of, familiar with, stars are probably going to be the best option for you because it's what they currently are used to. So they just go through things. They go into an Amazon listing, they see a 4-star review, it makes sense. They go here, they see the library, they see a book or something, they see a 4-star review, it makes sense, and so on. But yeah, um, the thing is with checks, if you, the only thing that is like, you know what? Let me ask a question before. That's going to be much better. What's your goal with this page? Is the goal to showcase that you have read books, if that's the point, and you have rated them a certain way? Or is the goal to share things you found and your ratings? That's kind of the same question. But yeah. Because if the goal, at least for me, if the goal is to show the person that is coming to your website that you have read books, simply having the books as a library here is enough. Like it's the endorsement, right? You're like, okay, cool, I have read books, and these are the books that I've read, and you basically imply that you, as yourself, kind of endorse the content, main on or based on the fact that it is on your website. Like this is the thing that I kind of recommend to read because I read them and I like them. Um, Again, we go there all the time, but in the resources, we've had, I should just fucking search. We had a lot of things related to books. There has been a lot of previews and a lot of like presentations of how books uh, like work. And this is a very interesting one. It's a very simple version of a bookshelf. All the books are the same and so on. You need to figure out what is the cover, extract the cover, and so on, play with it. But it's a more fun situation than, the regular things. It's already an endorsed book in no time. And so most of these things are going to give you similar outputs. If you just want to have like a very limited amount of books in your library, this is a very, very cute thing to have. And I feel like it would work. But yeah, simple. I haven't tried this one though. Oh yeah, that's just one of the wild ones. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I potentially go with something like this that would stand out. Nonetheless, or even though, I do like the minimalistic version of the website so far. Like this is minimal. It's probably enough. Uh, that will come later. That will come later. That's currently here. That's minimal as well. And then you have like the details and the content and so on. Eh, yeah. So if you don't want to lose the minimalistic part of it, that's fine. I feel like this is good enough. Mm, mm. The only thing that in my head is potentially like fixable would be to have the cards be half of their width right now. Because the distance I have to travel in between with my eyes to reach the end in the middle, the potential of me going, I mean, with this one, not really, but like with these three, the potential of me going up or down and not straight is potentially something that is like, ugh, things. Um, yes. Oh, fuck. What's the name? Um, Binance is not good. Binance is in the Binance chain, so that's not the most efficient. Coinbase is the based. Yeah. Potentially Coinbase is kind of the best option, the most secure-ish. However, if you just want to receive or send, uh, MoonPay. Sorry, I forgot that. MoonPay is pretty good overall to simplify things because you can simply just uh, buy or sell or do that from here. And I do remember that you had, I don't know if that's still the case, but you still had the ability to just get in and buy crypto directly from there, and it goes into an account. So if you needed to pay someone in a specific crypto, you could just go there, use their wallet account to receive, and you send them how much you owe them. The other way around is a bit more complex, though. Um, So depending on where you are and what you do, um, Coinbase is kind of the best option, simplest option. There is, however, and that's the thing that might bring you to stop. There is, however, some sort of a KYC, a know your or yeah, KYC, know your customer uh, thing in the beginning that um, needs to go through. And yeah, but I mean, for the thing that you're asking for or ask to do, you would need to provide your ID and probably a bank statement and all that. So yeah, that's not a thing. That's not that is not a thing. You Yeah, you wouldn't be able to do that though. Thinking about it, I don't know about OKX though. What Tekia said. Have a good clothing spree. When you come back, I'm going to take a look at your label colors if you want, um, because they are there. Then you asked for it. If I'm still alive, so yeah, have fun with the buying. Yeah, I don't know about OKX, so maybe take a look at that. If Teki recommends it, maybe that's worth it. I don't know. I don't know enough on this one. But yeah, you still need a fucking account and a fucking wallet to be able to do the transfer in between BTC to pounds.
Eternal Elysium.
However, I don't think you would be able to do crypto to pounds. Not direct. Not direct. Maybe on Wise? Or is it a bit of a different situation at times? But sorry, I'm seeing my Wise wallet with everything that I sent to Japan. Goddamn. Um, I have 60 cents on my account. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think that would be good enough. Um, like that's the option where you would be able to sell a certain amount of Bitcoin to whatever. So you would probably use euros because it's better for this transaction. Um, so let's say you have like, I don't know, point 0.2 Bitcoin. God damn. And you want to send that here, you would need to sell and so on. So, but you would need to have this in your fucking account anyways to be able to do that. So, yeah, I don't know. I feel like in terms of safety for what you're trying to achieve, Coinbase is going to be the potential easiest just because you create your account and then that's it. But then again, I don't know why someone else would not be willing to do the same thing. Maybe because they don't know how to do it, which is fine. But you know, I I don't know. the thing that is in my head is that the amount of fees that happens in the sending of the Bitcoin from one wallet to another, and then from that wallet to fiat, which is like regular currency, that is going to be like a lot of things. But taxes. Um, yeah. So I don't know. I don't know. I feel like maybe. I think Larkham has won. I need a pee again. 1 second. Anyways. So yeah, I don't know, Stoney. Other than that, I don't think there is like much to potentially work with. And I've been out of it for the longest time. So yeah, it's kind of unsure. Um, but yeah, the thing that I was about to say as well earlier, but I didn't for some reason. My bank is allowing me to buy crypto and sell crypto. So the thing is, that is not good. um, that's a lot. That is a lot. Send me one on the transaction. I don't know. God damn. Um, yeah, no, it's probably that. Even then, god damn. Uh, yeah, it's my bank is allowing me to buy crypto directly from my bank account, basically for savings through things. The thing is, in any way, shape, or form, based on it's kind of hard to explain, to be honest. Not gonna not gonna lie. But if you go into I'm gonna go back here because it might help. In any case, right? Have a good meeting. You have the wallet where there is the things. So let's just not that. That's a wallet. Alright? You got your wallet that is here, and you want to send basically from point A to point B. Um, right? That's the goal. Technically, that is the goal. So you need to go into that, and then from there, God, let me. Wrong key. There. Right? That's your goal. Not in dollars, but you get the idea. I don't think I have the pound on that keyboard. I don't. I do have it here though. Yeah, it's not good. Anyway, so this is your friend's account, and they want you to basically connect to their account and then send that into an account that is like not crypto related. In order to do that, the friend's account location probably have something that would give you the ability to do such things. Like going back to Coinbase, that's called market cap, it's not the right one. If I can sign in, I'm doubting. Obviously. Feels, hi, welcome on in. Welcome back. How have you been? How's everything? And so on. So in here, right now, my account is at 0 because I removed everything. I mean, it's at $30. If I'm here and you have the account, you just say, I currently have something in there, which is like $30 for me, technically 12. I can take this and extract that, sell directly into the user that is asking you to do that for them. Probably already has that. So that's to me, that's the situation. Like I have some Gala right here that I can't exchange because Gala is not available here. It's only available in the Coinbase wallet, but I would be able to, right there, just say, you know, with my balance of $12, I could export that $12 with everything. Now that it's staked, I can't do that, but you know, that's the thing. So, yeah, I don't know exactly. Feels I don't know exactly how Revolut would work, to be honest. Um, because you need to extract from the wallet in which the crypto is currently held. So that's the thing. Like I don't know. Going back to this, the crypto is somewhere, and if it's in, do I have it? I don't. If it's on the key, that's not a key, but if it's on a key, if it's on a ledger of some sort, you end up with a transaction to do at least once. And so that's why I was saying MoonPay might be the easiest option because you could like basically do the exact same thing and just say, I need to buy or I need to sell some Bitcoins. And, you know, once you have that, you just define that you have like a certain amount. And let's say it's a 5.8, which I doubt it. But why not? And you get that. When you continue on this, you would need to sign in, which is your first thing, which, by the way, Radius is. No one knows about that. And then from here, once you are signed in, you would have the ability to select the source of. So if you have a wallet and it's yours and you can connect to it, you would be able to do that. However, I usually do that the opposite way. Like I usually just buy directly. So I'm getting $100, for example, through my ETH wallet because it's way easier for me. But yeah, I don't know. Um, all I'm saying is that everything I've done is yeah, that's a lot. If it's like 58,000. Uh, uh, yeah, give me one on the way. Uh, you know, like just you know, it's very easy. You just mistake. You type aoi.eth. I'm receiving the thing. That's my wallet. um, yeah, the thing is, I don't know how to. I don't think it's a good idea. Like the transaction itself is going to get flagged for sure. Um, so yeah, like I'm really unsure. Like based on the amount that you just gave me, which I don't know if that's truth. I mean, it can happen. It happens. Uh, this platform is going to flag you. You can have up to 100K, I think. Um, so that's the thing. And then if it needs to go through something that is based or linked to you, that's kind of bad. So maybe don't. And if it's something that is not linked to you, but going from one account to another, um, the the receiving account is going to get flagged as well, no matter the fact. So there is something where the person that is trying to do the transfer should get a lawyer to transfer the funds, uh, rather than anything else. Like the only thing that I can think of is transferring small amounts at a time at viable intervals to not be flagged, but then that's just wandering. So yeah, um, yeah, that's also a thing. I mean, the thing is, if I'm sending, look back here, if I'm sending uh, this, right? If I'm just doing this with the back and forth between Bitcoin and Bitcoin wallets, crypto related wallets, there's nothing happening. I'm paying fees in the middle, but that's the only thing that gets flagged. There is no flagging happening, at least not on my side. As soon as I do this, that's flagged based on whatever the amount it is. Uh, and if the request from that person is to do one of these, then you're good, but then you don't have any options to do anything with the funds. The only thing that I know of, but it's kind of weird, is the fact that um, Coinbase does have the Coinbase card where you can have a debit card or credit card or something and you can pay with it, right? But then you need the funds to go in it. And because Coinbase is a trusted source type of situation, that's an old credit card. That this one is dead. You need like there is the KYC that is linked to you. The other one is Nexo, which is similar in a way. Um, Same thing. I do have stuff there. If you just open an account, I click on that. Uh, but they also have like a card, as far as I remember, and you get paid fiat and stuff. But yeah, um, yeah, that's that's weird. So I don't. Uh, the only card that I know, or the only platform that I know of that would willingly accept that much is from a crypto wallet to a crypto wallet, and that's it. And there is no platform that I know of that would give you the ability to then get a card like this and spend, like, because it's tied to a physical account. You are flagged by the system as, oh, you received a very big amount of money, and therefore you need to explain the provenance of the funds. So yeah, but so yeah, based on everything you said, I don't think there is any simple way of you to get like from crypto to fiat in a way that is just easy and simple and a one-click thing specifically for that amount. Um, so yeah, um, yeah, for me it's 14. I mean, it's technically 13K. Officially, it's 10, but um, yeah, but this the again, uh, even just one, even just one is gonna be too much. So you would be able to get out 0.02, maybe? Yeah, to be in the fucking banks. And that's like, eh, I don't know. I don't think that's what they want. So yeah, I don't, I mean, at that level of amount, I would rather it, again, the privilege of you being trusted enough for that friend to ask you to do that, really cool. Really, really cool. Um, However, no, don't do it. Ask them to get like a lawyer or something, a bank or some sort that could do that for them. Otherwise, they will not be able to get access to any of it. I would say, and that's annoying, depending on plenty of factors. I'm going to talk French, not in French, but like French related laws, because these are the ones that I know. If the person has invested a specific amount in a specific amount of time, taxes don't apply. So for French, if I'm investing something for 8 years without touching it, and I'm just like, initial investment of 10K, for example, I don't touch it for 8 years. After 8 years, there is no taxes on it, nothing anymore. If they have that many, there is a high probability that they have invested that many in the very, very beginning. And if there is a law that is similar and they have receipts, then there is an option to say that this is not a taxable event, even though it is that much. Again, not financial advice. I don't know what I'm talking about, but that's what I'm knowing about French. 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 Say. So that's an option. Other than that, you don't really have an option to get this out without getting taxed on every transaction or on one big ass transaction if you want to get things out. Um, but yeah, that's the thing. I don't know. I'm missing something. I'm missing some information for sure on that transaction potential and the funds, the source, the options, the things. I remember that we used to have uh, things, but like it's on Coinbase where you are able to pay with your phone based on your crypto. So basically, what it does is you pay a certain amount if you have it in currency, regular currency. It takes from that. If you don't, it takes from like the first one that is the biggest currency crypto that you have, or you set up something, and so it taps on that. But that is complicated. The thing is, going back to this, if the current amount is stored in a very specific wallet, and then you send it to Coinbase because it's a KYC based platform, there is a flag. If you send it to another crypto wallet, which is unlinked, you would be good. Um, yeah, I mean the thing is the same situation where the Revolut situation is going to be um, like based on the amount. So yes, as Phil says, there is an option to get through Revolut to get like the crypto inside, which is the same thing that my bank is doing. I can have my wallets linked and then pay with that or play with that. But uh, it's the amount that is scary. But that's a nice amount. Goddamn. Um, yeah. Specifically now, like the thing that is fun for me is that not since like up until 2022 in France, crypto wasn't taxed at all. They didn't really recognize it as anything. So any gains or loss that I made in Coinbase was non-existent. And I closed my account before they put in place like all the things. I also needed some money, so that happened. But that's the thing that made me able to just extract everything without having to get flagged, other than um, my bank account allow me to receive 50K without being flagged. I can receive up to, I think, 100K, but I need to explain where the things are coming from. Like 50K is just, cool, that's just a regular transaction. Nothing happened. So that's good, but still. So yeah, they would need 100%. They would need like a lawyer, a bank, something, a place to do the transaction, um, a Swiss account. Swiss account is going to be pretty good if they want to just go on vacation for a week, and do things with the Swiss. That would be pretty good, pretty safe, and less taxed. If that's something that they are interested in. Or yeah, or Dubai business, but like I don't like Dubai in general, so I wouldn't recommend Dubai. Yeah, Yeah, but you need to be so for the Swiss, you don't need much. There is like a certain amount of currency that needs to happen, but yeah, uh, I think it would be the easiest and safest version, so that they have like safety nets and so on. Oh god damn. But yeah, I mean they need safety for again that amount is crazy. That is a crazy amount. That crazy. Cool. Um, yeah. I don't know if it's a good thing, but yeah, I get it. Um, but you get a lawyer, get a plane to Switzerland.
Ronaldo
Uh,
Madeir is now following.
go go say hi to Maddie, and then come back. Ronald, hi. Thanks a lot for the follow. How are you? Who are you? How did you find the stream? Welcome on in. I hope you're good. All day. Ah, but yeah, like that's the most important thing I would say. It's just like the based on that amount and the whole thing, it it needs to be like safer than a friend to a friend bank account type of thing. Just like it's kind of wild. I am fine. I am tired because I'm tired all the time, but I'm tired. I take a medicine during the day that make my blood pressure go down, and I'm more tired than usual. So that's how the day is going. I am fighting for my life. Are you back, Cat? No, you're still in Italy, right? Um, I do, I do. If you have something to share, please share a link if it's your design. It's, uh, I mean, it's not as if they would notice, on that amount. 30. It's the taxes. It's the taxes. It's how it works. It is how it works. I see. Yeah. Don't don't take too much. But yeah. Yeah, hi, welcome on in. How are you? How's the day going? Right? Nope. Yes? No. No. We didn't have anything for you today on the likes. Most of the things are just very, very classical. Kind of funny, but also, yeah, not much. Um, Interesting. You already have a URL. That's if it's vibe coded and you have a URL, it's pretty, you know, it's pretty nice. Trip Genie, I guess AI powered vacation planning. Uh, Let me full screen things. I'm guessing this thing that I saw a second ago is supposed to be on top of that. So that's the first issue that I can see. And yes, it is vibe coded. I can recognize the graded. Um, all right. what do you have at your disposal? What are you using um, for this? Like, is it Bolt? Is it Lovable? Is it V0? Something else? Just cursor. Uh, Basically, my question is, what models are you using? Because that would depend. Uh, that my answers will depend on that. And yeah, I'm pretty good. I'm tired as fuck, but I'm pretty good. Um, kind of like this. Forced to work. Is in GitHub compiled and React and Tailwind. That makes sense. Are you using Tailwind components as a base? Um, or that? Because these would definitely give you a better design. I air quote that, but like a better design in the output to play with. To be honest, the overall content that I'm seeing right here is okay. It's not good, but it's okay. It would work. There is things, or there are things that could like benefit from not happening, and I was expecting that to happen. And that makes sense. It's the way that grid is working and the way that shit is organized. So, annoying. Anyways, so that's something to take into consideration. There are some best practices that I could see. You're not using components. I see. So, if you had a Tailwind component that could work to get faster, if you're just using copilots, it will give you not the best outputs. I haven't had a lot of time with copilots, to be honest. I'm mostly on cursor 99% of the time, so I yeah, different but similar. What I would say though is your header, so the section that is at the top, first section, is a tad small compared to what we are used to in the regular websites. The second thing is your header. So that's the hero and the header. Your header is a bit slim. So both of the things are kind of slim. And the overall things here is dated to an extent. Like it feels 2020, if that makes any sense to you. Mainly the reason is that fucking graded, but that's just the AI graded. We can't really get past that. Let me just get into Framer templates just as a reference. If you go into travel thing, let's say, so yours is an app. Um, Yours is an app that is related to travel, and you can book travel or plan your trips accordingly. That's the plan. Uh, and yeah, and you would be surprised how much things are moving and how fast they are moving when it comes to design. Like, I kind of can pinpoint the difference between a 2018 and a 2020 website. Like, there is things that have changed. A 2023 website is way different. 2025 website is very much what we see right now. So I can pinpoint that, and that could, uh, like that gives off a vibe, which I I can notice. This bitch is not good. Let me just go back there and get out. I see. bitch. We go back to template. Um, and why are they so fucking annoying? Let's just use an AI stuff for the purpose of right now. If you had something that is, I feel like this is mostly visually at the top, kind of similar to what you're looking for because of traveling and like the sky and stuff. So when you look at this as a reference statement of how the design could be, you might be noticing that the header is overall higher in terms of overall height compared to what you have right here, right? This is really thin. It's roughly, I would say, 60, 80 pixels. This one is almost double the size. So a bit higher in the header would make more sense. The second thing is your title and centering off your title is good, but it's a bit too high in the view when you compare to this one, for example. It's kind of the same place because there is this thing underneath, but most of the content is not like buttons. These looks like buttons. That's the thing that I would kind of change. But that's a very small detail on this one. If I go back to something that is potentially different, let me not good for more. It's, yeah, why not? I didn't want to take a look at this one, but that's fine. It works the same way. Um, you have so much space for the header right here that then goes into the content. I don't know if this one is really good based on, all the things, but you have like way more white space compared to this. And you also have way more data compared to what you currently have here. Like this is really, really, really small. So that might work. That could make things better for you to just get like conversion way faster. But it's harder to get like a good output out of these things. Other than that, yeah. So for me, hero section, the dark section here needs to be a tad bigger. Um, and in this section, depending on what these are, might get a better output or better understanding from a user point of view if it had a story. It is already, but if it had like a storytelling layout, meaning smart AI planning that then goes into the interactive map that then goes to something that is fully customizable is interesting. However, I feel like in terms of the experience that the user is having, they arrive on an interactive map, and then from that map that is interactive, they can ask the AI to plan their trip. And then from the output that the AI is doing, you are getting some customization potential. So flipping interactive maps and AI planning is pretty good. Psychologically speaking, having the smart AI planning in the center makes it as if it's the main point or the main feature of the platform, which is the case, I think. So that would be a tad better, at least from my point of view. Um, and then you already have payment and things set up. That's crazy. Um, the thing that is recommended here, for example, is having them all together in one column, so that you end up with um, something that just expand, right? You don't waste space. You have questions, it's there, you have the answers. That makes a lot more sense than having them in multiple columns, basically because you end up with this issue, which we try to avoid. So again, if you are coding it yourself, then you know how to do that. If you're not coding it yourself, you could just ask Can you just do that in one column? That would help make it better. I mm, mm. I'm analyzing it, goddamn, and a lot of things look duplicated. What I mean by that is interactive map is included is right there. The start with 50 free credit is also right here. So you have that twice. The personalized to your interest is right here, basically. And then the save 10 hours of research is the only thing that isn't underneath, or at least not directly visible. So all of that is, I mean, if I zoom in even more, all of that is duplicated here, and then all of that is duplicated here, but then all of that is duplicated here. So that's kind of bad. It's not going to help you in any way, and this is a given. What I'm about to say is a given. I'm currently analyzing it. So most users will not do exactly what I'm doing, but might have that subconscious feeling of, oh, I feel like I've read that already. Um, and that's what I would potentially try to avoid. So yeah. Um, ah, I don't think trip planner is going to be good. I don't think planner is going to be good either. Um, like there is a fuzzy search with like player and planner that makes no sense. Do we have things with strip? We do have things with strips. Like that's crazy. That never do that, please. Please, this is shit. I know why it's there though. It's because you want me to buy the fucking template, but no, not happening. Um, Again, if I'm looking at this one, which is a bit different than what you're providing, and Tripset seems to be something that they are doing the planning for you, which is basically what you're providing for, not free, but like free, without a human. If you look at the entire like website, there is so much more information that yes, there is repetition here and there regarding what they are doing and how they can help and so on. But overall, the whole website doesn't feel like nothing or not enough. As in for your website right now, it's as if I was doing this and then I'm done. I don't have anything more than that. Like I'm just seeing the hero and subsection and then I'm done. So you might be missing some sections. You might need to have more sections to explain what the app is doing, what the website is doing, and so on. Um, but layout wise, you are kind of good with the hero here, the sections there, and then the FAQ underneath. Like that's classical. It works. It does the job. It's not really the job that you want to do, but it does the job. It's just mm, something's bothering me, and I can't figure out what it is. Um, other than the spacing, I feel like that's Yeah, we don't have that though. Um, yeah. Uh, that's better. 2 RAM is a bit strong. I'm not gonna lie. 1.5 might be enough. Um, and that's an okay thing. Your width at 100% is with the RAM of the margin is the reason why it's broken. Um, but yeah, uh, that's gonna be easier for you to then scan. I'm thinking same thing. That button needs to be bigger. Uh, you are not using a button. I mean, you're using a nav bar link, which is fine, but it's not necessarily what you want. Let's do 12 on this, and maybe 24. Nah, 20. Better button size. Overall, I would even do a 16 to make it like a bit thicker. That's fine. I don't know what that is. I want to know what that is. Why? Yeah, I don't know what that is, but that's the thing. It happens. So that's easier for the top section. The central section right here, you don't have anything. You don't have height. I know, vibe coded, but that wild. Um, let me. An 88 padding. That's the size that I would expect, personally speaking, for that section, with probably an image in the background, a better layout with the text and the tabs and so on. But yeah, that's the overall size I'm expecting. Um, that is crazy. Damn. Well, congrats to that friend, I guess. God damn. God damn. God damn. That section is good in terms of height. I don't mind it. Like it's shorter than the full height, which is good, which is basically the same as this. So that's what we want. And this one is a bit tight, but that's like I can't personally uh, do that because I'm a dumbass. That is the reason. That is the reason. Um, I I just I don't fucking. How do I change this bitch ass thing? Like this. Like this. Just flex. Yes, if I just flex it and then I make it vertical. Yes. Yes. That you have your sections like this. That would more work better. That section, that full section now with the margin padding things around it is gonna need that is gonna need some padding as well. I'm thinking 48 pixel for the height. Like that's gonna be easier. Yeah, that's a better section overall. So it's not done, right? But the overall understanding from a user point of view, the thing that you are expecting from the hero section the subsection and the FAQ section have a bit more breathing room, so you end up with something that makes more sense. So here you have like your main message followed by your sections, which are pretty good so far. It depends on the wording and the content. That's for, I would say, a bit later. And then you have this thing which will give you the FAQ. It's that the user can arrive here and say, okay, so is there free credit and so on. James, hi, welcome in. How are you? How's the day going? That's pretty good. It's not great, but it's pretty good. No black iPhone, no, just a dark blue, and something that I didn't talk about in the beginning. I had a weird feeling during the event. At the end, they spend a good 4 minutes on cases for the iPhone Pro and Pro Max. They have spent so much time detailing the accessories, the cases, and I think they touched on the cases. That makes no sense to me from an Apple point of view. Talking about the accessory and not talking about the phone is weird. So, I don't know if you had the same feeling. Anyways. Yeah, even the carrying strap, but even that, like, it's an accessory. We haven't had that much time spent in the event on accessory in the past. Like, most of the time it's just, and like, we have that dongle to get your headphones in. Done. Or we have that new 5-meter cable. Done. But they spend like a good 4 minutes in total on cases and accessories and things. And I'm like, oh, that's bad. Anyways. Ronald. You're welcome, by the way. That's what we do around here. So if you have any auto design question, feel free to ask. I'm here to help. So that's my section. I would greatly say a picture like this, no, that's not gonna work. Something that would be a bit better in terms of travel plan website things, you're gonna end up with that as a common theme with like the destination and the travel planning things getting there. What I would give you as a potential marketing thing that could go inside of the app or inside of the website is having these. Let me see if I can find like one that is like static. Do we have a zoomed in version? Yes. So I would have this personally in the hero section. So a picture of a potential destination, a video, something that you have. Use Storyblock for stock footage. Use Adobe Stocks if you have access to that. Whatever you have access to. If you just want a picture, use Unsplash. It's going to be usable and good enough. Nonetheless, having this right here at the top, right there, before the start with your 50 free credits, but get something that say, plan your trip from location A to location B. And for example, like that's the trip because you are planning the whole trip. And when you say the plan for me, you mimic how the app is working. And then you give the first entry, the first thing, right, of the logical thing that will be the same every time. Take a cab to the airport, get in the plane, land in destination that is the destination that the user has selected, and then anything that is underneath is blurred or hidden or something. And blur would be much better. And it says subscribe or log in to get access to your first recommendation of things. Like that would basically convert the user almost immediately, because they will be like, yeah, I know I can take a cab to the airport. God damn it, I want to see the rest. So click on log in. You get the user, they get the 50 the first 50 credits, which gives them their first day of activities, and then first or 2 days of activities, and then they need to pay to get like all of this. So just something like this would help to convert or convert faster potentially. Vibe coded, much complicated, but yeah, I believe in you. You can do that. It's an option. It's an option. But yeah, something like this could definitely help to get the vibe of the top section of the website to be more traveling related. And so you have the picture, the potential thing that will trigger the conversion rates, and then other things underneath potentially, if that's something you want. It's an option. But yeah, like I would say that's the pattern that we have, meaning big ass picture, destination, big ass picture, destination, big ass picture, destination. It's just all of them are looking the same. If you want something that looks a bit different, you might go into something that is similar to this, which is wild and more complex to do, and then again more complex to vibe code. Why not infeasible? Like it's you'll have a hard time, but it's going to be fun. But yeah, no, most of it is going to be that. Holy shit! Sorry, that's crazy. That's the same girl. Holy hell! I hope she's a stock picture compared to this one, because otherwise, bad, bad. I guess this one is not a picture, and it's mostly AI based on gradients and stuff. You know, um, it's happening. Yeah, and by the way, for you, not necessarily you, but like for you, this one is kind of funny. I don't know if you were here earlier when I talked about this. They talk about the AirPods. Stock goes up. They start talking about the Apple Watch. Stock kind of goes back down. They talk about the iPhone, and the fact that it's like at the minute on the dot is crazy. But yeah, it is underwhelming. I do agree with you. They did. I mean, the whole thing is really bad, and the hype that was behind it or with it is not matched, which is always the case. So, yeah. Um, yeah. I like the Ultra, but it's just like I have tiny wrists, and that's basically the size of the Ultra. And I feel like that's crazy. Like it's a badass thing. I'm tiny. I'm tiny. So yeah. Well, no, I think that's that the most thing I can give you based on what I can see here. Don't hesitate to take screenshot, by the way, of this if you want to have like potential ID if you have it already. For the top section to have like more space and basically understand how things work, and then the bottom section to have like things pre-organized that could help. But yeah, I think there is like a lot of research that you need to do. I don't know. That is me. I don't know. I don't know if Copilot can receive pictures. If Copilot can receive picture, I would highly recommend you to go into Dribble where I was and look for exactly what I just did. Of like look for travel websites and things, and just get into one of them that looks interesting to you, or at least looks interesting in the header section and simple enough, and say, I would love to achieve that result. How could we reach something similar to this rather than what we currently have? And that might just help it go faster and be better. I don't really have an example here for for right now, but I'm doing like a lot of these all the time. Like I'm getting screenshots from other apps that I have on my phone, or I'm taking screenshots from the app that I'm building right now, and I'm just sending that and saying, we need to change this here and there because like I can't do that by hand. I don't have the skills. I'm not a dev, but I'm still building stuff, kinda. So, like it helps a lot to be able to just send things. And for example, for these three images, I wanted to take inspiration from these cards, like this one, and this one, which is really tiny, and just make sure that we had something that made sense. I just sent that and I said, you see the card at the top that are related to the paid tier. We should have that as well inside of the profile picture or the profile view, removing the profile picture, and that helped a smidge. But at the end of the day, I just went back in and did the code, the visual, like all the design I'm doing it by hand in Xcode, but like anything else that can be fast forwarded for me, I'm doing that through Cursor. So I'm guessing it's kind of the same thing for you in Copilot. But yeah, go and dribble, look for things, and just go through that because it's not that complicated to get access to, and use it as inspiration for generation rather than do exactly that. Like that's my recommendation as a non-dev from a designer point of view, to have good outputs from AI copilot things. It's asking them to improvise to an extent based on directive rather than giving them exactly what needs to happen. Why am I offline now? That makes no sense. That that is why. Sorry, my PC is offline. That makes absolutely no sense. It happens. It happens. Um, but yeah, it's a guessing machine. Like LLMs are a guessing machine anyway. They are guessing the next word and next things. And so if you want them to be a bit better, you need to be less rigid in your ask, not prompt. Um, and therefore you will have like better results. So yeah, go through that, get inspiration on what feels right for you. And yeah, when you have something, prompt it out. Then you would have like better layout overall. However, I have homeworks for you now that you've been here. I want to see the updates, right? It's your first time here. I want to see the updates. So when you have the time, when you have done the updates, when you have done the changes, and you have made progress in your eyes, come back, show me the link again, and we'll take a look, and do a bit of a comparison based on what I have in memory and what we have here. And that's always fun. Always good to see like progress from recommendation to outputs. So yeah. But as always, I'm here to help. That is the title of the stream. I'm the helping designer, and I'm here to help. When I'm not tired, I am tired, but I'm not too tired. Uh, the thing that I didn't really touch on is you have a good a conversion, yeah, conversion rate placement, meaning that button, that button, that button do the exact same thing, and it like I always have at least one button in view, and that's good. Like if I'm going here, for example, I have four buttons, like one for iOS and one for Android, so that you can just check which one you want. Then you scroll down, you have a button here, same thing there, same thing there. Like it's always like this one is way too much. I have like 5 buttons in the fucking view, but it helps. It helps the conversion rates and so on. So highly recommend, and you did a good job on this one, so good. Um, is this working? No. The thing that I'm seeing as well, I can't shut up, is this um is this your current logo and the thing that you want to use? If that's the case, that's good. But if that's like a temporary thing, that makes sense. You just that's a yes or no kind of question. Uh, the the issue I have is that this is a purple to yellow-ish color, and everything else is blue, which is the regular AI generated blue, which is fine. But you have everything in blue, so like maybe take that color as a main color rather than use that blue. Which, by the way, yeah, you have three blues in one. Like these two might be might be a bit different. This is different and this is different as well. So that's a lot of different blues. That's fine. It's okay. It's okay. But yeah, no, overall good. Um, I don't know why that kept its changes, but that didn't. Yeah, that's wild. That was interesting. uh, but yeah, that's all I have on this one. All I had. Um, yeah, no, yeah, and I talked about that, which is kind of for you as well, if you wanted to. Like the dither effect is now a pattern of 2025. Like that, there is no question. Every website and their mom have dithering effect. So I know that you don't have that yet. So maybe don't have that too. Um, but I don't think it's a good idea. Uh, I think you would be much better in skipping, right? In getting into a mixed media situation. That would be wild. There will be a lot of ass, so I'm not gonna. You don't have access to this. This is a non-accessible thing. Um, there is one designer on this platform that is doing pretty interesting stuff, but he has done something where he has said something. I don't know if I didn't like it. Basically, what he said is this thing that I've been saying for the past 2 years. So it's, I can say it myself as well. Basically, the take is the current state of branding is going into something more organic and hand drawn. So there is a lot of new apps and new websites that are coming out with hand drawn um, media, and that is going to be 2026 environment. So if your platform, which is extremely flat overall, had things like tape or realistic pins here and there, uh, that could make it stand out a bit. Like, yeah, tape would be really good if you want to have like a pinned up note at the top of the view that stays static or something. It's just like it gets taped and it's just an overlapping thing. Could be really nice. I can't find it. God damn it. I see a lot of titties, but that's a different thing. You can't see that. I've been following this channel, not titties. Um, this one is a very sad thing. Basically, it's a remote control truck in Japan that is going to buy stuff, and it has pre-recorded sound bites saying thank you, exactly what they need, and like the regular things, right? It makes sense. And then there is a camera in the background, and on this specific video, the camera is falling down. That's pretty fun, and I like it. It makes me practice my Japanese. So, it's fun. Anyways, details. uh, so yeah, there is going to be a lot of glass for 2026, that's for sure. There is also going to be a lot of flat, um, minimalistic, which is your current target, because we go against the grain. So anything that is what Apple is doing, there is always like a counter act. So anything that is glass and liquid glass is going to be flat and static. So shit like this, for example, is kind of the opposite of liquid glass. There is still the gradients, but it's really flat and neutral. Like the grays are neutral, the colors are kind of pastels, and that's a bit of the direction. But yeah. I would love context aware UI to be a bit better than what we have right now. Right now we really don't have much. And yeah, like dang. That's not exactly the one I was looking for, and we saw that before on Monday. Last on Monday, yes. Not on Monday. This was on Monday. But yeah, these are apps that are fully hand drawn, and having like hand drawn stuff in your app is pretty interesting and pretty well regarded right now. Most people are pretty happy with it, so yeah, we like it. We like it, but that's about it. I don't think I have anything else on this. I think when we've seen like the dynamic island, for example, pop up on the iPhone in 2023. No, 2022. iPhone 14. Basically 6 months later, Oppo had one, and Samsung tried to do one, and Xiaomi doesn't do one yet in most of the phones, but they kind of try at some point. So that's interesting, and it could come to other platform. Damn titties. Sorry, that's that. God damn. I was looking at this. Which was my point from earlier. And then I pressed escape, and there was some titties. God damn. All the time. All the time. But yeah, I do think that there is like a counter act of styles. So yeah. Yeah. I want to see that for sure. For sure. What was I about to say? Oh yeah, interactive environment are going to be much more important in 2027, 2028, when the second version of the Apple Vision Pro, if it lands, because then it would mean, and I doubt that 2028 would be the year. I think even though they would love to keep and maintain like the VR environment to be like moving faster, they are hurting walls upon walls upon walls to make things smaller to their level of what they want to do. And the big screen beyond is the only one that is like that tiny that we like. So they need to retro and yeah, retro engineer. I forgot, reverse engineer the fucking thing to make sure that they understand exactly how it works. But yeah, that's for later. Um, that is for later. It will be fine. It will be okay. But yeah, that's the environment, and interactive environment is going to be a bit more important in the next 3 years, I would say. 2 to 3 years. Because right now, and that's something that I didn't really mention in the beginning of the discussion about the liquid glass in the beginning today. But yeah, why did I say in the beginning 3 times? Anyways, my take is that liquid glass is the transitional UI for making sure that the people that are using Apple products right now are transitioned properly from physical element to digital interfaces so that they understand that things will react when something happens. When you touch an element, it does blob things. When you look at something, it glimmers. When you move your head, it shines differently. And these are things that are related to the Apple Vision Pro and what we kind of want to achieve. But the liquid glass is the transitional step. So as I say every time, my goal is contact lenses to see exactly the same thing that we have in the Apple Vision Pro. And the Meta Ray-Ban, for example, are the transitional step toward smaller and smaller until we reach the time where contact lenses are good enough and powerful enough to do things like this. That is going to take a while, right? But it's probably going to happen at some point. Or if it's not like contact lenses, it's going to be brain implant, and that's for tad later. But it might happen at the same time, to be honest. But we'll see. So again, liquid glass is the transitional UI to make sure that people currently understand that, oh, if I touch something, it moves and it has some reactivity. If it is behind or close to another source of light, source of color, source of something, it reacts to it, it interacts with it. And so that yeah, yeah, I had the Orion are one that are pretty good, and then the other one that you might be referencing in is the one that have the projector that is going through instead of in the right. It's not the projector that goes in the lens; it's the projector that goes in your eyes. Have you seen this one? Oh, I forgot the name. Um, I forgot the name, but yeah, no, the Orions are the one that I like. I don't like them, but these are the best currently in terms of size and quality of screen because they are untethered. They don't have the best battery life and so on, and they are like a prototype from what Meta is doing. But yeah, the event realities are good and we like them. We like them a lot because what is it? Bitch, where you at? There. We have them right here. We talked about them on last year, basically, exactly last year, September 1st, 2024. I was tempted. I'm still tempted. I like them a lot. The reason why I like them a lot is because these would be amazing for chat. Like chat reading with that would be amazing. no prompter, nothing. I would have the thing. I like that. But this is too simple compared to what Orion is doing for something that looks silly, but it basically looks like the Balenciaga glasses. And the output, like the quality of what can be projected so far seems to be extremely good. It's not as good as a VR headset because there is no like blackout for real, but it's still really, really good for what it is. The thing that I like is the big screen beyond uh, 2 or 3, yeah, no, the two. These ones are really, really good. They are still tethered, so linked to your computer, but for the weight and the quality and their ability to really do the work like that they are supposed to do, it is really impressive. And from the reviews, um, it's just really good. It's 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 really good. So these don't have pass through, I think, as far as I remember. Um, Maybe they do now. Maybe on the two they do. I forgot. But I think they don't. I think they don't have pass through, and so you kind of miss on what the Oculus Quest and the Apple Vision Pro is giving you with hand gestures, but still really good. And there is also there is another one that we kind of talked about some time ago, and I didn't like them enough to post them here. I Yeah, I forget about that, but goddamn, it does. Yeah, it does. It is. I need a haircut. I know. The last one, yeah, I forgot the fucking name. I forgot the name. But yeah, the G1 are good. They are really good. They look really good. And they also are like so much not Ray-Bans and so much non-problematic because they don't have a camera and you just see things as helpers, and they are so tiny as well. I feel like this is really, really good. I like them a lot. I am tempted. I have been tempted because, like, look at that. Look at that. I don't need prescription, which is really good. And like the clips to be on top for $100 is crazy. Um, that's crazy. But just for $600, I'm kind of still impressed. But there is another company that did the the no screen laptop glasses thing. I forgot. Yeah, that one. These ones seems to be pretty good as well. So far from their videos, I haven't seen any reviews. Uh, like nothing really happened for me where we saw really, really good reviews or we saw really reviews. So that's the thing, but it's interesting as well. There is like a ton um, of market space for this. The one that I had in mind was these ones. So these are the Site 4, which we just saw, which is really cool as a concept because you travel with your laptop, which is basically just a keyboard and the glasses that is your screen. So that's really nice. And we had another version, but yeah, not there. But yeah, there is like so many. That's all I'm saying. There is so many that pops in. that just makes it interesting and people are interested for some reason. So, yeah, that's about it. Health Foods is live, apparently. That's interesting. And Gothic is live. Yeah. I guess Health Food. Yeah, that makes more sense. That makes more sense. All right. Pressing the button. Thanks a lot for being here, as always. The vault is going to be on YouTube somewhere for some reason. And yeah, if you have questions and are not live, as always, Discord is good. Uh, yeah, I wish I could try them on. I have so many glasses, so I know it will be fine. But you know, eh, eh. Um, but yeah, as always, if you want to learn Japanese, can is good, but that's you know, that's not biased. And then if you want to give me some money, this is a good idea, or you can sub, but that's not necessary. Anyways, anyways, as always, take care of yourself. Eat something, drink something, um, be kind to each other, and yeah, I'll see you on Friday. I guess. I guess it's probably more stuff, but yeah, that is the goal. Take care of yourself. Bye.